Hello and welcome to Social Wednesday with Evolutz. This is our 8th episode and today's guest is Silvia Fraser. Silvia is an innovative and strategic leader with over 20 years experience. Silvia has a proven track record specializing in large-scale and complex program and portfolio management, risk management, and critical infrastructure planning and delivery. Silvia is currently the Director of Workplace Strategies, Modern TO, Workplace Modernization with the City of Toronto. Most recently, Silvia was awarded the City of Mississauga City Managers Award in 2019. So thank you, Silvia, for being here.
Thank you for having me, Susanna. It's wonderful. I don't know whose bio did you read, but I don't know.
Yours.
Thank you. Well, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
So Social Wednesday is a series where guests play a game of 12 questions and have less than 10 seconds to answer. Silvia has not seen the questions before and this is not rehearsed. So are you ready?
Let's do this.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so question 1. What is your proudest accomplishment?
I think the proudest I am is the Security Director Award by Canadian Security Magazine. It's such a prestigious award, and I was very, very humble to receive it. I was shocked actually when I've been very involved in the security industry, and for me to receive that level of recognition was really close to my heart. So appreciate it.
And it is very well deserved, Silvia.
Thank you.
Question 2. How would your friends describe you?
I think very caring, a little bit eccentric. I'm very passionate and I'm a bit of a type A personality. So, I come up with a lot of celebrations and different things to do. And I do like to compete as well. So I'm very high energy.
That's what we get along. We both have type A personalities. Question 3. What is your favorite holiday?
Oh, by far Christmas. I love Christmas. I start decorating the house in early November. I have 7 Christmas trees. Seven Christmas trees.
Question 4. If you could give one piece of advice to a woman in security, what would it be?
Oh, it's hard to pick one. I would say learn, and learn. And learning can mean, a lot of things. I've learned a lot from mentors. I learned a lot from obviously education, certifications, and really it's about, and it's not just for women, it's for everyone. Our industry evolves all the time. And so we have to keep up, and learning is, to me, the fundamental thing that you can do as a woman in security, as a professional, as in security, and I would say in other industries as well.
Question 5. Tell us about one of your biggest goals that you want to accomplish.
Oh, well, I have this goal, this dream, and it's been with me for a long time, and I'm invested a lot in public service. I have been in the municipal government for over 20 years now. I've been in security, but also in other areas of the cities. I'm very passionate about cities and building them, and I'd like to become the city manager. I really have this strong passion to really build happy cities and good cities and safe cities, and so I would like to, my goal is to really go to the top, and I'll keep going towards that goal in everything that I do.
And I have no doubt that you will accomplish it in less than 3 years. So stay tuned, everyone, as Silvia accomplishes her goal. Question 6. How many languages do you speak?
Well, I speak 2 languages and 1 dialect. So I speak Romanian. My first language is Romanian, and I speak English, and I also speak a dialect. It's a Greek Macedonian dialect.
So technically 3 languages.
Technically.
All right, question 7. What was your first job?
My first job, when I finished high school, I worked in a bakery. One of my cousins owns a bakery. I was back home, that was in Romania, and then here in Canada, my first job was as a cleaner. So I worked as a cleaner at Jane and Finch. Really blinded myself, actually, in my first job. So
We'll take it offline.
we'll stop there.
Question 8. What was the last thing you read?
Well, there is a book that I recently finished, actually, and it's the burnout cycle. And it really has to do with how do we manage stress, and I learned quite a bit about it. It's by two doctors, who really focuses on stress management, and I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot from it. Exercise, that's the key. Exercise.
Question 9. Do you believe in having a 5-year plan? Do you find it useful?
I do. I very much do. I'm a strong believer in planning ahead. And yes, you can pivot and shift and change directions, and of course, and you always can press the reset button and go in another direction. But I've always been very, very particular around my goals. I do have charts of where I'm going and how I'm going to get there. And I do spend, you mentioned New Year's, I do like to spend New Year's kind of thinking about that and kind of revisiting my goals. And there's all kinds of goals. There's professional goals, personal goals. What am I doing towards those goals? So absolutely. Sometimes I may be a little bit too hard on myself, not achieving certain things on time or the way I thought I was going to go, but that's all fine.
Yeah, you and I are very similar in that regard. I think that's one of the first things that we bonded over is the planning.
Yes, the planning, yeah. Yes.
All right, question 10. When will you know you've made it professionally? And I think you've sort of answered that in like the biggest goal. So would it be to become the manager, city manager? Would that be like when you've made it professionally, or is it something else?
I think it's different perspectives and how you look at it. How I look at it is really reaching those goals and being satisfied with how I'm progressing against those. So when I get up in the morning, I'm happy. I want, for me, it's not a job. The moment that something becomes to where it's like, oh, I dread to go to work, that's not a job anymore. That's just work. Because goals is, and you will know this because you're an achiever yourself, is that once you get somewhere, you're like, okay, what's next? I know what's gonna come next, and so to me, I never look at that as like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be happy then. It's not about that. For me, it's like enjoying it and really having the passion every day in what you do. Sorry, it was more than 10 seconds.
No worries.
You're gonna cut me off soon. You're gonna be like, that's it, she's gone haywire. Stop it.
Question 11. Top 3 things on your bucket list.
Oh yes, the top 3 things. Yes. Well, I would like to run Boston Marathon. That's number 1. Boston Marathon has been something that's been on my planning for quite some time. The second thing is I'd like to go to and live in France for a little bit. That's the second one. And the third one is India. I've always been fascinated by India, and it's just something that I've never been able to do.
And that kind of leads me to the last question. You sort of answered it, but if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? And I guess Paris?
I'm not sure that I would like to live there forever. I love Canada. I'm not from Canada. Originally I grew up in Romania. Of course, I love Romania. It's my home country, and I love everything about it. But I find Canada to be now my home. I have now actually lived more in Canada than I have back home. So I passed that threshold. But I would pick Canada.
So this concludes our game. What did you think of the game in questions?
I loved it. I think it's a conversation, and what I liked about it is that it just made me want to tell you more. So you have to increase the 10 seconds to a minute, because you'll be like, it's like, oh my God, I want to tell you about this. I want to tell you about that. And you and I, talk, and so we'll chat more about those. But it stirred up. They're very good questions. I think they're questions that we should ask ourselves, and so very thoughtful of you.
But before we do end the episode, I would like you to briefly tell our viewers about your new role as Vice Chair of the Toronto Network of Women and the initiative in creating a global women's network. So tell us more about it.
Oh yes, thank you for that. Within the city of Toronto, we have a women's network, and it's called TO Now. We started to do is actually partner and reach out to other networks, other women's networks. We really have a very strong focus on inspiring women to enter the field and be successful in it. My role right now is really as the vice chair of this network within the city. But my strategic direction and scope is to actually create a network of networks, taking that to the next level, and being able to leverage from each other. So very excited about it. More to come.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yes.
Thank you for sharing that, Silvia. This concludes episode 8 of Social Wednesday with Evolutz. Stay tuned for the next episode, and in the meantime, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask our next guest, or even recommend a guest for the next series, comment below. And thanks again for watching, and see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
And that's it.
That was it?
Yes. That was it.
Wow. That was fun.
Yes, it was.